was 9. So we landed in Erie, Pennsylvania, 2 hours away from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So there, like, my life was, I was hoping that our life would be different than what it was back in Nepal. But then my father started drinking again, abusing us and everything like that. So, and he finally, not finally, sorry, but he acted like he was gonna stop, but then like he would continue doing that again. And the month of December hits, and December 3rd, he hung himself, he passed away. And then my mom was alone now, and then she's just a housewife, right? Like she would not even go out to work or nothing like that. We were all dependent on our father, and that was a big hit when he passed away. So now it was all up to my mom to take care of her 3 children and feed us and everything, and take care of rent as well. But she could not do it by herself, so we had to move in with our uncles. And there, our family from now 3 people, it grew up to be like, what, 10? And yeah, so uncle was abusive to me. They didn't like that. He thought I was on his way and stuff like that. Mom couldn't take it anymore, so we decided to move to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh now, 2 hours away. There too, things didn't go as planned. Now my mom thought that she can't take care of her children by herself, so she decided to get married. And so now my father, he treats me better than what my dad actually used to, right? So he's a dad to me. And he treated my mom really well as well. So when my mom got married, man, he already had kids, and already 2 of my siblings was already a pain to me, right? And having 3 more was it was not good. So then when we moved in with our new father, I was all this, like, all this kid that didn't want to listen, thought that I was the boss of the house and stuff like that. So my mom decided to send me back to my uncles and my grandparents' house. So me and my brother, so my sister decided to stay with my mom, but me and my brother, my little brother, at that time, I think he was in kindergarten, so what, 6 years old at that time? So we went to our grandparents' house, right? Stayed there. So there I had my 2 uncles. My grandma was the only female, and my grandfather, right? So, and it was 2 of us there, my brother and me. So I was in 6th grade at that time. Man, I didn't like that house. I missed my mom. I didn't feel any love. My uncle would always tell me to work and work, nothing else. I did not even have time to do my homework, and nothing. So it was stress. My life was stress. I thought I didn't have any purpose in my life, right? I wanted to commit suicide and all that thing. And one day I went outside and met my friend. I would always be sad, even in classes too. I would not even focus. I would be on my own world, though I would be in school, but my mind would not be there. So I think it was one class period. My friend was like, "Come with me in the bathroom." So I went there, right? He took out a glue, a super glue. If you guys don't know what that is, he put it on one of these plastic bags, and he told me to sniff it. I felt like I was in heaven. I was happy, but that was not good. That was not good. I did it for like 3 months, and my brain was not functioning good. I was lost. And hopeless. It was not a good life. Then after that, I started smoking weed. I was already drinking alcohol, but smoking weed. And yeah, so going outside, I would not find love in my house. So I would go outside with my friends, smoke weed there, steal money, go to Family Dollar, Dollar Store, Walmart, whatever, steal from there, do all these things. And go to like jungle. We made our little hideout or whatever they call it. We would smoke there, drink and party, like not really party, but like try to fit in. That's what we do. And 7th grade, finally, Lord said, "That's not who you are." At that time I thought I was atheist. I did not even believe in my God. Though my grandfather used to force me to shave my head, do this, and dress up as priest, whatever, But I was atheist. I would not even like that, and I would not even feel like God is there, But seventh grade, I had no hope. I was completely lost, smoking weed and just sniffing clues. So that it was making my health poorly bad as well. And no mom. And I was at that time, like my grandfather and now my grandfather, my uncle and them used to tell me that your mom abandoned you. So how are you gonna try to contact back with your parents now? They don't even care about you. And then they used to feed my ear with all these things, right? So what can I do this week, right? And seventh grade, Lord gave me a purpose of my life. It was soccer. So soccer, God used soccer in my life as such a way to win my soul. He knew that I didn't care about nothing at all. My heart was cold as a stone. It was hard as a stone. And soccer came. For soccer, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped sniffing, and everything. I even stopped drinking sodas and stuff. So my goal now was to be a professional soccer player and go to Spain and play soccer there, You know, it's okay to have a dream, right? That was my dream. One day when I go to heaven, I'll play soccer there for sure. For right now, I'll just work for the Lord. So God used soccer as a big thing in my life. So now finally I started from what I was, like in my own comfort zone and do all this stuff. So I started involving with things in my community, like at that time there was this Nepali Buddhist community where I would go and do interpret for all these elders and help out in citizen classes and stuff like that. And even my grandma was the only lady, right? So my uncle, I was kind of always forced to work, like do chores on top of that, cook for my uncles and stuff like that, and do laundries and everything. Like I was pretty much treated like a slave, and I didn't like it. Yeah. But then like Lord told me, I'm just getting you ready for something bigger coming. So just bear with me and work this step. So I started taking work as positively, like although he was negative to me, and if I made even a small mistake, he would like slap me or hate me, whatever, and I would just take that as positive. And eighth grade, my mom and dad, they finally decided to move from Pennsylvania, Erie, to Pittsburgh. So, because she told me that she could not, like my grandfather and them, my uncle and them, they used to tell me that my mom don't love me and everything, that she does not care about me. But then she moved right next to us because she could not stay away from her children, right? So me and my brother, and even then I was not allowed to go to her house, because then if I go, then who would do all this work, right? I was not even allowed to go to her house. And my uncle and them, like at that time my dad, he did not have vehicle, so he would have to catch bus to go to his work and stuff like that. So at that time, like my sister was on my mom's womb, so my mom was pregnant, so they don't have right to go to hospital, so my mom would have to like walk in a snow cold weather, right? Because my uncle, they don't want to give them right, and they treated them poorly as well. They make them that they would always go to my mom's house, like threaten my dad, and always say this and that, and make them feel not good. And they finally my stepdad's family was in Kansas, and so they decided that they don't want to stay there, and they told me that they're not treating you good here, just come with us. And I was like, no, I'm good here, So I stayed behind, and my mom and them were left. And that was a big smack. I was lost again. I thought my mom was there, and I thought I had everything now, But again, I was lost. So got back to drinking. Like I would go with my aunt. I would go to my aunt's house, like if I get a chance, like in weekends, and I would go there. We would get like alcohol, like vodkas, whatever, red labels, all those stuff. that are not good. So we would drink. I would drink until I could pass out in a small age, and it was not good. In 8th grade, yeah, my parents moved out, and I could not take it anymore. Like, my uncle was, after, when my parents was there, like, he started to treat me a little bit better, but when my parents moved out, right, like, when they left the state, he started abusing me again, like, hitting me with belts, chargers, like, everything that he could get. So I didn't like it. I thought that even my schoolwork, I would not have time to do my schoolwork, read or nothing like that. So, and I was like, I finally told my mom, if you don't come and get me, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run away from them, or I'm just gonna commit suicide, because I did not know what to do. And if I did run away, where would I go, right? So, and then my mom, and my dad, they drove like 13 hours. They came and got us, and there was a drama. They didn't want to let me go and stuff like that. When they heard that I was going, my mom and dad, they started treating me well. They were trying to convince me to stay with them, right? But I didn't want it to. So I went to Kansas. There, I made a lot of friends. My friends, Kansas is a bad place, to be honest with you. It is. It's a bad place. I was offered to smoke weed a lot, like even in classes too. I would skip classes, like I would bunk school, go with my friend, and thank God that God had already took me away from weed. So even though my best friend, they would tell me to smoke, I would not smoke. So, but alcohol, that was another topic. But so I would not drink. I would not smoke. And one day, my friend, he invited me to a youth group called NC4Y, which stands for New Teens for Youth. It's run by, right, Shelby? So it's run by Seventh-day Adventist people. I went there, and when they saw me, they thought that, I had a heart, and I was seeking after God. And then they made me one of their youth leader, and I started leading there. I started getting involved in certain things, and I finally had a hope and purpose for life, because I didn't know what I was gonna do. After I finished high school, or even during high school, I didn't know what I was gonna do. My life was just eat and sleep. That's it, and play soccer, and that is not fun. It does not get fun after a while. So through there, I got purpose. Now I have some events to plan for, and to lead out to. We had our Pathfinder groups and stuff like that I was involved in, and there too, things started not getting well with my family. I don't know if it was me. I think my problems goes before to my destination before me. So my problem ended up there too. My in Hinduism, my karma, it went there. So again, so in my house, we started having family problem. At that time, we were 7 kids in one house, and dad was the only one working, so that was a problem there. So family problem again, and back to that life again, So mom could not take it anymore, that dad saying this and that, and so we decided to move back to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, where my uncle and them was. So when we went there, I was away from all this thing that I was doing, and that I was my source to be connected with God. Right now, I was back to a life where just work, help my grandma to do housework and eat, and it just pretty much do schoolwork, and that's it. Nothing else. And my mom came with us, and my mom, my siblings only. So we came, and then uncle started treating my little sister poorly again. He would always complain them running around house, making messes and everything. My mom could not take it anymore, and she contacted her husband, and she was like, I just want to come back with you and stuff like that. So they moved to Ohio, and so that's where they at right now. So me and my sister and my brother, we were left behind. So we stayed in with our uncles. So he treated us good again, for 3 months. Then he started having problem with my sister. He complained that my sister was not doing this and that and whatever. She could not take it. She told my mom, she told my grandma and grandpa that she's gonna move in with her aunt. So she went to live with her aunt, and I was there. Now after 2 weeks or so we were back again. He started talking to me as if I was his slave, and then fighting and everything, would smack me. Sometimes I would defend myself, sometimes I would not, because he was a little buff guy and I'm a skinny little dude, But anyway, but and I forgot. during that summer, my mom left, right? It was 2019 summer. My mom left, and people from youth group all the way from Kansas, they drove. I had nobody came after me from like far distant, right? They drove from Kansas to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh to convince me to go to Sunnydale, Sunnydale Academy. But my uncle, he was treating me good, and then my grandma and my grandpa, they were saying, we just got you back. Why do you want to leave us and everything? So I was like, you know what? Yeah, they're right. I don't want to go. And then they came, and then I kindly told them that I don't want to go. But God had a different plan. I was good with my uncle, and then I thought although mom left, it's okay. I still got some love from my grandfather and my grandma, my uncle, my aunts. But then I think November hits. So from summer to November, right? So things started getting bad. Like it was already after they left. It was already, but it was bad. And he said that he's like, you're homeless. Why are you living here? Like this is not even your house. You're stealing my. So they're my grandma and grandpa and grandma. But he was like, you're stealing my. My uncle was like, you're stealing my parents from me. They don't love me anymore. They only care about you and all these things. I could feel some jealousy. What can I do? I mean, everybody loves me, right? No matter where I go, I always get love. You know what I mean? I can't help it. I'm just like that. But yeah. So God has a different plan. So things started getting bad. And one night I remember, he accused me of doing all these things that I didn't do. And he just wanted to find this reason to kick me out of his house, right? And I didn't have anywhere else to go. But my grandpa and my grandma, I was actually, when I was a child, right? When I was one, my mom, back in the fall, she would always have to go to work. So I was basically raised by my grandma. So she really loves me, right? So she didn't want me to leave, and she could not ignore what my uncle was doing. So she was giving me all this advice to stay and just do this and that. But one night he was just finding reasons to kick me out, and he finally came there and started he all of a sudden he started saying that if I was your brother, I would have already killed you and all these things. And I was like, go ahead, try. I'm just gonna stand here. And then he was trying to slap, and then I did some that Jackie Chan move. But so he was like, get out of my house. I don't know, something hits. I was crying, and then I was on my phone, and I don't know how, but I just called. I just remember ringing Elizabeth Cowan. That's the family that I stay with right now. They told me when they came during summer. They told me that whenever we'll just take you in, and then you can just go to Sunnydale from next semester or whatever. So it just happened that I called her, and I didn't even know. I didn't even remember pressing her name or whatever. But I called her, and then so they flew me in, and I ended up staying with them, and I went to Sunnydale for only 2 months. Then Corona hits, right? And then I went back to their house, and then I was staying with them, and I finally witnessed how it feels to live as a one unit family. I had never sat in the same table with my dad, my mom, or my uncle, big authority, and ate. But then they got me a chair, so I sat with them in the same table, and I ate with them, So that was a good experience. I was like, we gotta do this more often. But so we started. So there in Sunnydale, I started. So I would not even read, right? I started reading a Bible, and I started to learn more about God, what God is, and what I experienced a love of God there. Let me say, and I find out that He's not a God who wants to kill me and send me to hell that my grandfather used to taught me, But He cares about me, and He wants to save me from going to hell and stuff like that. So. And when I told my parents that I wanted to become Christian, now I'm done with this Hindu or Hindu but atheist life, and my family, they were like, man, this is not who you are. You're. So I had an uncle who passed away because he was a pastor, and he was the only Christian and pastor from our whole family, right? And he was a cousin of my mom. So that was the only dude that they knew as a Christian, and then he passed away. He hung himself. I don't know how, but they were telling me that if you become Christian, this is what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna pass away one day. Like you're gonna have a miserable death. You know, I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll accept the death. And then my grandfather was like, you're gonna become like your mind. That spirit is gonna play with your mind. You're gonna become like a mental, you know, and then you're just gonna go live in a wilderness. I was like, you see, yeah, I'll just go and live there. But and it took like a month to finally accept my faith, right? And my mom would let me come to her house, and like, you know, like when I would have home leave from Sunnydale, like she would let me come and stay with them. But at that time I was still not good with my uncle, and my mom and them was not good with my uncle too. But then I think it was around the one of the Nepali holiday, Diwali. So they called them in, and then they called me in too. And then, well, the way that my grandfather, like after he find out that he's a priest, by the way, after he finds out that I'm a Christian. So have you guys seen that red dot that the Hinduism put in their forehead? So that actually represents a blessing from your elders. So your elders would put that on you and then give you a blessing, right? Before that, they would like offer it to a statue and believe that statue is blessed. So I was like, I'm worshiping statues and receiving things from statues. And he put that things on my sisters and so on and so forth. And when it comes to me, he did not even say anything. He just ignores me, and he hasn't even touched me, hugged me, or whatever, right? And so he started giving them monies and stuff. So when it comes to me, he threw that money to me, you know, because he's a priest and I was a Christian. So he started complaining that why is this Christian in my house, like, you know, all these things. And I went and I started. I went and lived with my remaining time. I went and wanted to stay with my aunt, who I used to drink with, and I did drink that night as well. Yeah, it was not a fun night. I drank, and so from there, I went back to Sunnydale, and after I left, I left a message that, you know, I was Christian, and now my mom and my uncle was they started having a good relation, right? And then now my uncle was feeding my mom's ear, saying that, oh, this is not his faith, like now he's gonna do this and that, and like he was just telling all these lies and everything against me to my mom. So my mom started accusing my siblings, that, like, you know, saying that, oh, your brother taught you this, like he's a Christian, now you're trying to follow his path, and like, you know, oh, you think that you're better than us and everything. And then my sister, who's she's just 1 year younger than me, she could not take it anymore, like, you know, mom being like this, and she knew that it was coming from her uncle, so she could not take it, and she called me, and I was like, yeah, you know, I went and I told her, yeah, I'm gonna do something about it. And I went and talked to Elizabeth and them, and then they said that, yes, he can go to Sunnydale. And so we drove from, me and Elizabeth, we drove from Kansas to Pennsylvania, because that's where she was. And then we got her from Pennsylvania to Missouri, and then she's attending Sunnydale right now, right, as well. Hopefully she will accept the faith. I don't know how she's taking the Christian faith, but hopefully she will. And after my sister going away, my family finally realized that this dude, her brother, is not a man who to listen and to follow, you know. So my mom started contacting me, saying that, you know, I love you, this is not who I was, and stuff like that. So she started talking to my sister as well. And then May, my graduation comes, and then I invited them. They came and they were happy. They felt proud, you know, that I was. So by the way, I am the first one to graduate from high school from our whole entire family. So yeah, I'm the not smart, but, you know, at least I have that.
You're smart enough to choose Jesus.
Hey man, say that again, sis. Say it again. So how many minutes do I got? 45, 5 more minutes. Okay, bear with me, guys. So then they like how they saw a new change in me, and then they're like, I want to send all of my kids there. So my mom was like already sent. My sister was already there, and then my stepsister, but sister to me, right? My dad was like open to her too, and then like he was like, just come and take her as well. Like she needs to be there and stuff like that. So she's going there as well, and then now my brother is on a list. He's waiting, and he just wants to go there, and then like I have told Angela and Jose and Janella and them, like I started telling my mom a little bit about Jesus, and then like he's been acceptance, and now she's telling me that like after, because of this Hinduism things and stuff like that, like the society, it really matters to them, the communities and stuff like that. So it's like I don't want to be left out, and I don't want to be thrown away from communities. So I have to pretend to be Hindu, but in deep down inside my heart, I feel like I feel convicted, and I feel that I have purpose in my life, and then like I could see that hope and that light in her eyes, and so my mom was like, after my family, or after this generation passed away or whatever, like after my mom and my dad passed away, she's gonna, like, she said that after, like, since, okay, so to be honest with you guys, like I have told you guys already, that if you're a firstborn from your family, it's up to you to take your take your parents to heaven, right? So my mom was like, yeah, let them just pass away, and then I'll do all these things to take them to heaven, then I'll follow Jesus. But I kept on telling them that you don't got time, and the end is coming, you don't got time. But then she was like, yeah, just wait, just let this two sister grow. I have a 4-year-old sister and 6-year-old sister, right? Half sisters, but sister to me. So she's like, just let them grow, and then we'll follow. So just pray for my family. My mom is being acceptance, but then mark of the beast is there. She's just not wanting to be fully converted because of what people would say, what her family would do, and what all these things, But God can, God can. You're not far away from God to return back. God will use you, and God will. What's the verse? Remember one of our memory verse? No temptation has overcome, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that. You guys know that, right? Yeah. That's the one that I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Say it again. Yep. Yeah, that one. You guys can look it up. I think I don't got time, but yeah.
So, what did your mother, your family, think about your baptism?
Oh, yeah. That's the. So when I posted that picture on Facebook, my mom was all proud. My mom was telling me that my uncle was like, oh, your son is baptized and everything, and then she was like, yeah, hopefully he'll become a pastor one day, So she was really acceptance and everything like that. Yeah. Good.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I think we should all end this thing off with a prayer for Prem's family, especially his mom.
Amen. Yeah. Well, yeah. So the verse. And the main point that I want to point out here, and all of this, 50 minutes of talking, is this verse right here. So the verse is found in Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. So even when I came out of high school, I thought I was gonna just join military, and then like be one of their chaplain there or whatever, buff up and everything. But then I'm here buffing my soul up, you know what I mean? More than my body. Yeah. Go ahead.
How did you get to Salt?
We had from our youth group, we had one of our leader attend Salt last year. His name is Addis. He knows. Yeah. That's how. Yeah. Well, that's it. It's 50, right? Thank you so much.
Pray.
Oh, yeah. Let me pray.
You want me to pray, or do you want
Sure, Pastor Villaverde, pray for us.
Not yet, but I'll pray. Lord, we just want to thank you for bringing our brother Prem here, Father, for directing his path, just like the verses said, like Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 say, Father, when we said and acknowledge you in all things, you will direct our path, Father. So we just want to take this time to also pray for Prem's family, for his mother and his brothers and siblings and sisters and all of his family who can see the light of Jesus through him, and may even want to accept but are reluctant because of the circumstances in their life, and they're afraid of not being accepted by the people who are around them, Father. And to that I say, it's better to accept you and be rejected by a community that's not accepting you, Father. So I pray that they find the strength and find the courage to take that next step. And we thank you for Prem's testimony, Father, for you use all things for good, and our paths for good. And even though we've made mistakes in the past, you use that in order to be a testament and a relational factor for other people that have been through the same thing, Father. So we just thank you for all that you do, and